The next I will show you is the efficient frontier from different time periods. So you can click the efficient frontier time periods spreadsheet. Let's have a look at the efficient frontier from different time period. I have separated this original time period from 2014 to 2020. I have separated from 2014 to 2015 for the first half, and this part, you remember, we have a huge increase in Chinese stock market. So that's the sub-time period 1. And the second sub-time period is from the second half of 2015 to 2017. And that period, we include a huge decrease. And then we have the third sub-period is from the 2018 to 2020, only include the COVID-19 part. So that's the 3 sub-time period. So let's do it again, and you need to calculate, draw the efficient frontier once again. The difference is here, the variance covariance matrix, and also the average return should based on that time period. So here you can have a look for the average return. We not include all the data B2 to original data B2 to, let me have a look. Original data, we calculated the average return is from B2 to B1522. But now for this subperiod, we only include the first half of 2015. So we only have here is here. So we only have the B2 to B344. So that's the expected return. And also for the variance covariance matrix, all the data here, we also using B2 to B344. So that's the difference. So you do it each one by one based on different sub-time period, and you will have, I will show you, you will have the solver result here for the subperiod 1, and solver result here for subperiod 2, and solver result for the final part. So all this finish, you can draw your efficient frontier. So I have done, because it is time consuming, so I don't have the time to do it each one by one. I just show you how can you do it. You can using the data and do it by yourself, and you can download all the data and have a look how can do that. And you can have a look, I have already drawn the graph here. So that's the efficient frontier for different time period. Let's have a look at this light blue one. That's the time period for subperiod 1, 2014 to 2015, half past. So for this light blue line, efficient frontier, we know, we compare with others, we know it's definitely quite good compared with others. And we have the higher expected return but lowest risk. And it is consistent with what happened in the Chinese stock market on the on the second half of 2014. Definitely we have a huge increase in Chinese stock market. Everyone can earn the money during that time period. So that's why there is a huge difference between other time period. And then let's have a look at the worst one. Is from the time period, that yellow one is 2015 second half and to 2017 2017. So that period we experienced the huge decrease compared with the huge increase, and everyone lose money and someone suicide because they are losing too much money and using the leverage on the stock market. So that's the reason why this one is from the graph is the lowest part. And now let's have a look. The other one is the dark blue one. That's from 2018 to 2020. Even we have the COVID-19 in 2020, and that period we have still a constant and quite good result compared with others. And the final one is our red efficient frontier, which is the whole time period from 2014 to 2020. So that one is in the middle. So compare with the sub time period, we know that if our time period is longer, we can smooth the result. And if you can doing some good market timing and choose the best time to invest, definitely you will earn the money. So that's the idea. How can we compare the mutual fund manager, their skills for market timing or stock selection? Even you don't do any good stock selection, you only invest in that period, definitely you will have a higher expected return. And so market timing is quite important for investor to consider. So that's the spreadsheet for efficient frontier for different time period. I will show you the idea. So for based on different time period data, you will definitely have different efficient frontier. Okay, now let's have a look. I will construct my portfolio. So I have three based on these 30 stocks, and I want to construct a 10 stock portfolio, 20 stocks portfolio, and also the 30 stocks portfolio. And then I want to compare the results based on this three portfolio. Okay, now let's have a look. For the 10 stock portfolio, I want to choose this 10 stocks from 30 stocks based on the recent 1 year's stock return. So if the recent 1 year stock return is the highest 10 stocks I will include in my portfolio. So the first one, we need to go back to our original data, go to the return and covariance spreadsheet, and then we need to add one line. So here, the recent 1 year. So let's see 1 year return. So for this 1 year return, we just want to calculate recent 1 year return. So from here 2020 March to 2019 March. So we can write. Okay, and then close your bracket and here, and then we drag to the right, and you can select it. And you will find which stock has a higher recent 1 year's average return, and we will include the top 10 in our portfolio. I can't remember the result I calculate is based on 2019 March or based on 2019 April, so you can check it by yourself, but never mind. So I choose the top 10, which is this 10 stocks. So the 10 stocks average 1 year return is here. And the next one, you need to calculate the variance covariance for this 10 stocks. So the variance covariance matrix, now we need to doing some calculation based on here. So we find the stock is the 1527 and the first stock, and now so based on this number we can calculate the variance covariance matrix. So I don't have enough time, so if you are interested, you can contact with me. We can discuss after the class how can you do that. So if you're using this number to denote how many rows or columns you want to move based on your original column, which is 牧原股份, and then you can directly calculate the variance covariance matrix. So it's quite time saving method. So after you doing that variance covariance matrix, and keep it simple, I don't want to use solver to calculate the optimal weights. So you can do, if we are assuming we can do the equally weighted, so give each stock 10% for weight, and then we can construct our portfolio the same equation to calculate portfolio return, and then we can calculate the portfolio risk here. So that's the 10 stocks. And the similar idea, we can calculate 20 stocks. So based on this 20 stocks, we also select the top 20 previous year's return and construct our variance covariance matrix, and then give the weight equally weighted, so each stock have the 5% weight, and then we can calculate the portfolio risk and portfolio return. So that's the 20 stock and 10 stock portfolio. How can we construct that? And the 30 stock portfolio we have already constructed based on previous efficient frontier, and you know that. And then we can draw all these three portfolio, 10 stocks, 20 stock, and 30 stocks portfolio, equally weighted portfolio on the efficient frontier. So let's have a look at that graph on the efficient frontier. We have added this 3 point. That's 10 stock portfolio, 20 stocks portfolio, and 30 stocks portfolio. All these three portfolios are based on equally weighted. But the efficient frontier, that portfolio is based on the solver, so we don't using the equally weighted. And compare the result, we know that the 10 stock portfolio, they have the highest expected return, but the standard deviation is much higher. It's quite close to the point on the efficient frontier. And the 30 stock, they have the lowest expected return and standard deviation. And this is the idea. If you include more stocks in your portfolio, definitely you will doing some diversification, and the risk should be diversified. The unsystematic risk will be diversified. So this point is much lower than the 10 stocks portfolio can make sense. So that's the part I will show you. How can we construct the 10 portfolio, 20 portfolio, and 30 stock portfolio based on equally weighted.